The cartoon community has its fair share of crazies. This is a take so obvious that I might as well have said fire is hot. As I've said before, and I will say it again, once something gets really big, literal crazy people will find it and ruin it for everyone else. It's inevitable, and yet every time it happens, I still get really sad. Before I go and start rambling about nothing for 4 minutes before actually starting the video, I'll get back on topic. The cartoon community is known for having some of the most evil, toxic, and borderline sociopathic people as figureheads. Or at least it was back in 2016. This year was just really bad for anyone who was a fan of anything because everything sucked. You had literal predators in one corner, people wishing suicide on a girl in another, and the style of videos that would ruin a bunch of children's interpretation of media and the world at large. Anti-SJW content. And in the midst of all of this debris was the one creator who was finally starting to pick up some steam in the cartoon community. Or more specifically, the MLP YouTube space. Joshua Scorcher!
Who?
Look, I know some of you can't read, so I'll spell out for you and say that her name is in the title. Lily is known by a lot of people, and I'd say about 99% of people know her for very not positive reasons. A year ago, Jesus Christ, it's been a year. A year ago, I made a video on Lily and it's pretty bad. I feel like I could have gone a little more in depth of what I was talking about, something I failed to do now and will correct. Wait, I can't English. Lily isn't anywhere near as bad as the other people I've covered on this channel, which isn't a high bar when you look at who I cover on this channel, but I give her props there. However, I can't say she doesn't have an interesting history. A history that involves sock puppets, lots and lots of sock puppets, YouTube beef, hours of content on something that really doesn't matter, and fanfiction that would put me on a list if I read out certain parts of it. This is the story of a person who has been permanently destroyed by the internet. This is the story of Lily Orchard. I start off something that has become so common it should have a TV tropes page. Sock puppets accounts. Why do people do this? I don't know, but it's always incredibly funny when people get caught using them. Whether it's someone white knighting themselves or making a fake girlfriend of sock puppets. Oh no. Tara Callie, a brave survivor who lost her sister in the blistering cold while running away from Colorado. Lily acted as her only source of joy after this tragic event. It's a miracle that she was even able to settle down after such an abusive childhood with a neglectful father who I just made up. Actually, this whole story is a lie. Tara Callie is a sock puppet used by Lily throughout the years, who has served as Lily's biggest defender, a person to take the fall for Lily's actions and girlfriend. We have Rent-A-Girlfriend, so why not make a girlfriend, guys? A lot of people grew really suspicious of the supposed girlfriend as no one had actually seen her face except Lily. This is what Tara is believed to look like, as this was her profile picture on Tumblr at the time. Unfortunately, someone used their brain and did a reverse image search and oh dear. I would have packed her up the second this happened. Like, completely no identity and everything. Lily, however, decided to tell one of her friends more about Tara Callie. According to Lily, Tara, after hearing a child make homophobic remarks, decided to SA them and then recorded it to blackmail the child. Lily then tried to get rid of the evidence to get Tara a shorter sentence because Tara was arrested for this. There are two ways to look at this. Perspective A. Lily just admitted to helping remove evidence from one of the most evil crimes a person could commit. Or perspective B. Remembering that Tara Callie is not real and I am in just complete disbelief on how I have to even separate the two schools of thought right now. Like, why would anyone ever think this was a good idea in any way? This is a fictional character who you then use to self-report an event that couldn't have possibly happened because that person isn't real. Seek mental help. Oh, but you thought I was done. Oh, silly child. In 2013, after finding out one of her friends attempted to self-delete themselves, Tara Callie, who totally wasn't Lily on an alt account, said this. Here's a brilliant fucking idea. Instead of just expecting me to know that Jerry's faking it for the camera, how about fucking telling me? As much as I hate to admit it, I am a very dense person. I have to have shit literally spelled out for me so I don't take it the wrong way. And I've seen this song and dance before. Friends told me that they were just acting mean. And the acting eventually gets out of hand and I wound up hurt. That's what it looks like to me when Jerry pretends to bully me.
Okay, here's it spelled out for you. You are a whiny, annoying son of a bitch and you're lucky anybody bothers with you at all. If you expect anybody on the fucking planet to accommodate every single little douchebag handicap you have, you need to grow up. How is that for spelling out for you, you little shit?
Jesus fucking Christ, dude. So I'll go ahead and add ableism onto everything Tara Kali, who isn't Lily Orchard in any way, shape, or form, did. Cool. Moving on, before I blow my brains out, Lily would make a YouTube account because unmonitored internet access wasn't already bad enough. And almost instantly, Lily gets into YouTube drama. Joshua Scorcher closer resembles a really happy sausage dog than a fake soldier, fake Christian, and closet racist. Lily accused him of being this, which is a drastic exaggeration overreaction. Nas, please cut this out. Please.
No.
Josh could have easily responded pretty early on, but chose not to avoid unnecessary drama.
So I am begging, pleading, everyone who watches this video, do not go and leave death threats or harassment on Lily's video. Please. That's not acceptable under any circumstances.
Now, normal people would take the show of mercy and try to do literally anything else of their lives. Not Lily though. She took this as a chance to relentlessly attack the guy until he finally snapped and said he was making a video. Just described Lily's friendship as an abusive one where he would constantly cover for Lily and defend her from people warning Josh about the way she had behaved in the past.
I remember my exact thought process. Anything you might think is abusive behavior is just Lily being Lily. You don't see how nicely Lily treats me sometimes when we're alone. The viewers more familiar with abusive relationships might see what I had done there. I tried to cover for someone's cruelty by saying how nice they sometimes were. I used the "I fell" excuse. I used the exact logic of a beaten spouse.
The thing that's very odd to me is that Lily originally apologized.
Who was the person that abused you?
Oh, I'm not saying. I know how the internet works.
It was me. I've been increasingly passive-aggressive towards Josh, dismissing his opinions and being increasingly short-tempered with him as time has gone on, treating discussions of him that have any degree of seriousness with the same disregard and callousness as I would random YouTube comments. And Josh was far more patient with me than I have ever been with him. I've been a very poor friend to Josh over the last few years, and Josh deserved better than this. I am truly sorry.
But it seemed that she would walk back on this for whatever reason, saying that Josh never called her out on her behavior and didn't give her a chance to improve. Which, look, I can't confirm or deny any of this because, surprise, surprise, I wasn't there, so I can't say anything either way. For context, Lily's bullying was so bad that 8chan worried for Josh's well-being. 8chan. Fucking 8chan, dude. If 8chan is saying you're going a little bit too far, maybe you should stop. Then Lily's statement about Autism Speaks was brought up. If you don't know what Autism Speaks is, better on you, to be honest. The group has always been kind of bad at managing things and end up doing way more harm than good for everyone. Lily, the genius that she is, said this. Here's the problem I have with autism. Great start, here we go. And why I don't blame Autism Speaks alone for being dipshits about it. I do not believe for a second that nobody is using autism or any other commonly diagnosed mental illness to absolve themselves of responsibility of their own piss poor parenting. Somebody out there raised their kids poorly and would rather blame mental illness than correct it. As long as that continues to be an issue, I can't fault Autism Speaks for misunderstanding a mental condition that in most cases is complete bullshit. There are so many undiagnosed people on the spectrum, and it's insane to say that most people are faking it. Like, this is a pre-TikTok world where she said this, and I have no idea how Lily of all people feels like this is okay to say. Here's why I will say that Josh had some, we'll be nice and say, hot takes about gun control. This is something Lily is allowed to be mad at, so pop off. Rare Lily W. Can you smell the Gen Z coming from me?
Now I come to Lily's video about me. Not even 1 minute into the video and Lily said I'm not a real Marine. I'm not sure where Lily got this idea that she's some sort of authority on what constitutes a real Marine and what doesn't. She has a limited grasp on what I've actually done or what my day-to-day life was like. Not even my own family had that amount of insight into my life. Yes, Lily had a grandfather who served, but that source does not an expert make. The very fact that she's making such an uninformed judgment with this level of authoritative finality says a lot about her character. So, not a real Marine. I suppose going through basic training, the Crucible, MCT, my MOS school, having to meet fitness and marksmanship standards each year, being called upon to represent the Marine Corps at dozens of social events, and always having to be ready for a deployment to a war zone makes me not a real Marine. There's a term for that. It's called no true Scotsman. I'm not insulting Marines, but you're literally insulting a Marine right now. Oh, he's not a real Marine. Now, I'm not going to go too far into the staggering amount of military facts that were objectively incorrect, but here's a few. I served 4 years in the Marines, not 5. In fact, it's impossible to serve 5 years active duty in the military unless you were medically or dishonorably discharged, neither of which were me. Also, the band isn't a military branch, they're a military occupational specialty. There is a significant difference.
Dog, I don't know why Lily thought this was the move. I think it's disrespectful to ignore Josh's time in the Marines and really bad faith to say that my grandfather served in the military. I know what I'm talking about, because you clearly don't. Have you seen the, I can't pronounce that name,
Letters to you? Yes, I have. And I refuse to waste any more time I already have on people who strawman me. If he wants to discuss something, he can contact me directly like an adult.
Can I take a minute to just laugh at this? Because in what dimension does Lily have the right to say this? She literally made a video on Josh instead of directly going to him. Imagine my shock when the terminally online turn out to be hypocrites. I could go on about a bunch of other really small things that don't matter. Well, nothing really matters and we only exist for a millisecond in the ever-expanding universe, but I'm sure you understand what I'm getting at. Lily obsessed over Josh for months. It's weird going over the entire video to hammer home a point everybody already knows is pointless. So here's where we talk about some of my favorite parts of Lily's fanfiction. Hey, so after reading some of it, I can say that doing that would be impossible. Not just because it makes me incredibly uncomfortable, but also because I wouldn't have a channel anymore if I read out some of this. Now it's time to get into the meat and potatoes of the issue with Lily Orchard and why I made this video in the first place. It came to my attention that around the time I made my video, a YouTuber called Essence of Thought released a video very important to Lily, as it covers a very serious situation between Lily and multiple minors, the dark chapters. Because I felt like it would be relevant, I'd like to point out the fanfic Lily made where she sexualizes minors and depicts multiple accounts of SA. With context, I literally cannot provide. This isn't done to forward the plot, it just seems to be there. Number one, Lily was the type of person to ship together real people, which is so fucking weird. Shipping discourse is usually really dumb, and I typically don't get involved with that stuff. However, the shipping of real people is something I will always be against. I think it's kind of odd to do, especially with minors, which is what Lily was doing. Why do you ship Fire Rose so hard anyway? You want the real reason or the funny reason? Screw it, I'll give you both. Funny reason, young Republicans who embody the kind-hearted nature that genuine family values are supposed to embody are now the spitting images of that homey American family, with very few of the modern drawbacks. They are likely the very lost of their kind. I'm sure that there are zoologists out there who are legally obligated to try and get them to breed. Real reason, the two of them have the exact same values, the exact same traditions, and the exact same virtues and vices. That's not just a silly ship. I actually said that to Josh, that he and Ink Rose were practically made for each other. And if this ship becomes canon, I will have the most smug I told you so face in the history of smug. But she's underage! But she won't be for long. Also, I wrote a book where a 15-year-old ran off with a 38-year-old, and all of you thought it was lovely. So... So let's see who it is without sin cast the first. Wait, hang on. So let's see. So like, I 15 and 38. Dude. Sorry, after quickly gagging, I need to point out that Ink Rose was a minor at the time. Really love the last part because who is you all? I'm not part of that. 23 and 17 is mad weird. Waiting for someone to turn 18 to make a move is also kind of weird. Why are fresh adults being spawn camped by grown-ass people? I'd understand if it were Ink Rose who tried to initiate something after turning 18, but if it comes down to an adult literally counting down the seconds to make sure someone is legal, then that's when I think it's weird. Weirder still when the person shipping together two people also points out a fanfic they made where someone was 15 and the other person was 38. Like, I don't want to call you a pedo, but come on. That's weird. I feel like I shouldn't have to explain why that's bad, and using such an awful age gap is just justification makes me think that you are a pedo. But a 13-year-old age gap where one of the people involved can't even drive yet might be one of the worst justifications I have ever read regarding shipping real people together. The TF2/MLP analysis community, everyone. It really fucking worries me. Lily had some bad takes about the Owl House. Alright, and there's my Owl House quota for the year. I want to thank everyone who has made it this far for watching what is basically a how it started versus how it's going style video from me. I don't really think there's much else I can really add on to this subject, so I'll be ending it here. Thank you to Sarah, Israfel's Fire, Clownkeeper, Haven Lady, Sabin, Sketch the Cat 67, Crystal Flame, and Shakira 47, King Johnny TH445, Ant, Pwep, Oliver, Neko Official, Grizzly Bear 1996, Kinda Snowy, and Alien Hunter. Thank you for being my first support, dude. You're cool. I wouldn't be able to live as comfortably as I do if you lot didn't exist. Anyway, that's me done. See ya, lads.